Hi, and welcome to Real Life with Jenny. Grab your favorite drink and a snack, and we will get started. Today, I am drinking Irish breakfast tea, and I've got a little bowl of jelly beans. So, let's get real. Today, I named the podcast Black Jelly Beans of Life. So, I went and just randomly grabbed a little handful of jelly beans, and ooh, yum, 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 super excited, and I looked down, and there are two little black ones sitting inside the bowl. I have about 10 of them, and 2 of them are black. Ooh, I do not enjoy them. They are not fun for me. They are not smelly. They smell gross. They taste gross. And I'm really sorry if you love jelly beans that are black. And good for you. Let me know who you are, and I will send you a bag. Because they do not get eaten here. Kevin eats a few here and there, but I do not enjoy them. So I kind of wanted to talk about the underbelly of life. So often in life, we only see the positive things in people's lives. We only see the vacations and the promotions and the wonderful children and the wonderful marriage and the beautiful car and the beautiful home. And we do not see how people get to those points. We do not see the tears and the sacrifice that happened to get there. I used to have a job, and I worked for a lady named Jackie. Loved her. She was fabulous. And she taught me something at my job was to be invisible. My job was to not really let people know what I was doing. The only way people knew what was happening is when it didn't happen. My job was to make everybody else's life run smoothly. That was the whole point of my job. So when the teachers came in the fall, everything was there and ready to go, and everything ran smoothly. That was my whole position. And so I really embraced that. And most of my life, which kind of happens to me, I grab onto something and just modify it for the rest of my life. And I have spent most of my life in the shadows and really trying to stay unnoticed. And then God calls me to do a podcast, and he calls me to write a book. And so I'm sitting here in a place that everybody hears this voice. When you come to Real Life with Jenny, I don't normally come on here and cry for long periods of time. I have cried, but I don't come on here and sob. Very, very often, every once in a while, there may be a sobbing moment. And maybe later in this episode, we'll see. But really, you see and you hear the upbeat. But you do not get to hear the times where I just want to give up. I no longer feel relevant. I no longer feel like I'm doing anything. I am struggling. When I was writing my book, I wrote a lot about my own life in accordance with all of the Bible characters. And I really poured out who I was into this book. And then I sent it to an editor. And I got it back with everything red. Now, when you're little, in school, they mark everything in red. There's just a psychology to red markings that even with my daughter in homeschool now, I do everything in pencil when I'm making a correction, because there's just something about red that just makes me feel like a loser. So when I got my book back, and you're like, wait a minute, is there any non-red words in this chapter? I just felt like such a loser. I cried for hours. And I wish I were exaggerating. I really do. I wish that I was tougher and could take criticism better. But I cried and I cried. And I called my sister, I don't know how many times, and my husband, and said, I'm done. I don't want to do this. I don't want to write this book. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I'm a horrible author. Could I go down the path any deeper? I'm going to shove this book into a closet and hopefully no one sees it. Yeah. It brought me to such a dark, dark place, feeling like I couldn't do a good job. And you never want to do anything that you don't do 100%. When I put out a podcast, every single time I walk to the front because I'm in the back in a nice little cubby, And I walk to the front and they go, how'd it go? And I go, yeah, that wasn't a good one. Every single time. I don't feel like I'm doing a great job. And so often in life, we get a beautiful bag of jelly beans that we know are wonderful. And that's what people see. They see our beautiful bag of jelly beans. They don't see all the little black licorice ones hiding in there. They don't see what makes the whole picture is those little black jelly beans. They don't see the pain. They don't see the sacrifice. And so I want you to know right now that God sees the pain. God sees the sacrifice. He sees you where you are. He sees you on your journey. Whatever journey that is, He sees you. He sees your pain. He knows your tears. He knows your frustration. And He's got a plan. And I don't know what that plan is because right now I'm in the midst of it. I am almost done with this book. And all people see is, oh my goodness, you wrote a book. Isn't that amazing? They don't see the hours of learning and studying and editing and formatting. And it has been a very, for me, painful process to take something that I loved and I cherished and I was so excited about and then have people fight over where a comma goes. Yes, it has happened. I have lived there that two different people say a comma goes here and the other one says, no, it doesn't. And I have to decide and honestly do not care. Just the pieces that you're like, no one sees that. No one, all they see is the facade that you put up. And I want you to know that God sees. God sees those little licorice pieces in your jelly bean bag. And He knows that those little licorice pieces can bring growth. For me, writing this book, I feel like I'm a totally different person than when I started this. I am tougher, maybe? No, not really. Maybe I'm tougher. I know what I want. I know what is important to me and what's not important to me. I know what I'm going to do differently next book. And I know kind of an idea of what I'm going to do with it now. I have no idea. That's just be honest. I don't have any idea. I'm like, let's publish the book and then I'll decide what to do because I don't know what to do. If you have any suggestions, send them my way. ChristConnection.cc/Jen, my email's there. Feel free to say, hey, Jenny, this is what you should do because I don't know. And that is really where we are in life. We are all in a situation, every one of us, no matter what path we are on, that people only see the jelly bean bag. They don't see the color. Maybe you hate the color red and the whole bag is full of red right now. They don't see that you're struggling. They just see the success that you've had, right? We don't normally go onto social media and say, oh, look at my, kid just did this horrible thing and isn't that great? When my daughter was younger, I am very much about being vulnerable. That has been something that I have struggled with, but have always felt very convicted about, that I'm very vulnerable with those people that are in my life. I do not like to hide things. I do not like to pretend that I'm doing well. So on social media, I've always been very vulnerable about the journey we've been on. And my daughter has had some struggles in life, like all kids do, right? And I have been very open about those struggles with many people. But so often we only see the fabulous birthday parties with all the friends, and we don't see the days that we're lonely, right? Are you lonely? I'm lonely. I'm really lonely. This has been a really, really hard journey. I am struggling to keep friendships. Not that friends are leaving, but it's hard because you can't see them. And I used to have built-in friendships at work. And when I volunteered at church, they're built in. And now it's a must find them, must seek after them. You feel like you're always texting people to say, hey, can you get together? Hey, let's be my friend. You're always fighting for friendship. And it used to be easy. You know, when you go to school, now it's been a long time since I've been in high school, but when you go to school, you're friends with who people are around you. And now it's so lonely. I'm lonely. I'll be honest, that is the licorice jelly bean in my bowl right now. I am not feeling like I'm successful. I don't feel like I'm making much of a difference, and I'm really lonely. How about you? What are you struggling with? What is going on in your life that really you're not showing other people? You're just showing them the bag, and they maybe see there's a black one in there, but they don't see that there's really a big problem, and all you can see and taste and smell is that black licorice. And honestly, for me, that is the truth. Like, when I get a little handful, I can smell. I know that you really can't do it until you bite into it. I feel like I can smell it, and it like permeates every other one and makes them gross. And I know it doesn't happen that way. Like, I'm logical. I get that there's a sugar waxy coating around them. But when you are dealing with something, that is all you see. And I feel like the Lord is saying, look up, look up. See, I am here. I am doing a good work, and I will be faithful to complete it. I am here. I love you. I've got a plan. And that's hard. It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember when you're in the editing process of a book that what you wrote was something that was important to you. Because you just want to throw it away and start over. You're like, okay, she doesn't like this sentence. I'm a failure. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I know that seems like an extreme piece, but so often in life, that's where we get. We get to the point that our marriages or our kids or our jobs or our finances are falling apart around our ears, and we don't know what to do. We don't know how to fix it. We have no answers anymore. The Lord does. The Lord can stand with you. And I am going to encourage you right now to reach out to a friend or to me. I'm your friend. Reach out. Say, I need prayer. I don't need to know what it is. Your friend doesn't need to know what it is. Sometimes, honestly, you need to share. You need to share where you are. You need to share and get it out in the open and to put light on it. Because when you don't put light on it, it can fester and become something bigger. And light can really cause you to see what's actually going on. So bringing it out into the light is important. But maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe you're not ready for your licorice black jelly beans to be shown to everybody. Maybe you just need to say, I've got a bunch of licorice in my life and I need you to pray for me right now. Email that to me. Facebook me. Whatever. I would love to be able to stand with you and pray you through what's going on in your life. And I know that your friends and family and pastors in your life would be willing to do the same thing. So, I am going to tell you something that is completely off track, but I have been talking about my book. And it is something I'm super nervous about. So, here we are. I have finally named my book. And so I wanted to come on to you and tell you before I told anybody else, because I have not made an announcement. I have only told my family and one friend. No one else knows the title of the book because I honestly have struggled with it more than anything else. It has had about 10 titles. And I keep changing it from every time, like change. But I am now there, and it is officially named The Unnamed Zookeeper, Inspiring Stories. Or Stories That Inspire You. See, I don't even know the name of the title of the book. Stories That Inspire You. So it's The Unnamed Zookeeper. And it is about Noah's wife. Noah's wife, and she's just one of the stories. I'll just make it very clear, she's just one of the chapters. She's a very small chapter at the end of the book. But I thought her title captured the entire essence of the book. And it is about you are going on a journey. And for her, she was going on a journey with Noah. She was stuck in the boat. She had to help build the ark. Maybe she didn't lift a hammer, but she had to listen to everything he was saying. And she had to stand beside him, and she was never named. She was never named. Now, we can find her name if you Google her. There's tradition that says, this is her name, but she's actually not named in those chapters. She is Noah's wife, and she went through the same struggles. And so often in life, that is our journey. We are going through the same struggles as other people, and no one even knows our name. No one knows who we are. And it's hard. And it's hard to not be known, and it's hard to be invisible. I get it. I am unknown, and I am invisible, just like you. Even though it's Real Life with Jenny, I'm still invisible. And that is the essence of my book, is that we as people so often go through struggles and nobody sees them. Everybody only sees the end rainbow at the end of the story, and that we started life over, which would not have been easy, by the way. That would not have been fun to get off that ark and be like, wait a minute, it's just us. Ooh, yuck. I've been stuck on a boat with these people for how long, and now we get off and it's still just us. Oh, that would not be fun. Anyway, but I want you to know that even though you may not be mentioned by name, and you may be struggling with your bag, and your bag of jelly beans are all full of black licorice, you are seen by the Lord. And you are seen by God, who loves you and has a plan for you that is bigger than your current circumstances. So that is all I have to share today. I just want you to know my heart. My heart is we are all unnamed zookeepers who are looking for identity and purpose, and the Lord can give it to us. Please reach out to us at Real Life with Jenny on Facebook, Instagram, and MeWe. I know, I've expanded. We're on MeWe. I have like 2 friends on MeWe, but that's okay. Maybe it'll take off. I don't know. And you can connect with us at christconnection.cc/Jen. My email's there if you want to send me an email. I would love to connect with you and pray for you as we're going on this journey of black licorice jelly beans. I don't believe that the Lord said, I'm going to give you only black licorice jelly beans. I believe He's giving us color, and the white and the red and the orange ones. Yes, they're my favorites. And then He gives us some of the middle ones that are okay. The Lord has a bigger plan for you. Hold on. You can do this. We can do it together. Have a wonderful day.